What's going on, everybody? You're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, and we're about to get into a Giants mailbag where I answered your questions live from our live show that airs every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. So subscribe and turn your notifications on so you can join us during our live shows. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. We're less than 300 subs away. So if you love the Giants and you're looking for videos on the latest Giants news and rumors every single day, Giants Now by Chat Sports has you hooked up. Go down right now and hit that big red button. Question number 1 rolling in from my guy Twizzy. Hashtag Giants. Do you think the Giants are a sleeper team heading into the season? By sleeper, do you mean a sleeper team that could make the playoffs? A sleeper team that could compete for the playoffs? We'll go for that. I don't think anybody is really expecting the New York Football Giants, led by Daniel Jones and Brian Daboll, to be a team that's going to compete to make the 2022 and 2023 NFL playoffs. But if we've learned anything about the NFC East, that is a crazy division. And the predictable never really happens in that division. It's so hard to repeat as champions in the NFC East. Cowboys won it last year. Who knows if they'll be able to repeat. But I do think the Giants right now are being slept on a little bit. Their over-under win total for the season based on Vegas's odds is 7.5. I have the Giants winning 8 or 9 games. So sleeping, maybe snoozing a little bit. But what I expect for the Giants is to just compete. Get better every single game. And all the questions you have that are unanswered entering the season that revolve around Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, Kenny Golladay, Kadarius Toney, Sterling Shepard, and all the injuries on defense. Answer those questions and find out as an organization how you need to move forward. Do you need to re-sign Daniel Jones? Do you need to re-sign Saquon Barkley? Just get better every single game. No QB sneaks on second and third down, and just continue to get better. But yes, I do think they're sleeping, but not too much. Timothy, what up, man? Hashtag Giants. Will the Giants trade Daniel Jones, 2023 first and second rounders, and a 2024 first rounder to the Browns for Baker Mayfield and a 2024 third rounder? The Giants are not going to trade for Baker Mayfield. It really doesn't make all that much sense for them. They are all in on making sure Daniel Jones has every opportunity in the book to prove to himself, the Giants fans, and the Giants decision makers, and Joe Shane, Brian Daboll, and the rest of the front office, if he can be the guy moving forward. And you're already paying him a good amount of money. And Baker Mayfield's going to be a guy that's going to command $18 million this year. So paying upwards of $33 million to your quarterbacks of Baker Mayfield and Daniel Jones just doesn't really make all that much sense to me, especially when you consider the fact that the New York Giants are kind of in a cap situation where they're not in a spot where they can just take on $18 million. They're about $7 million under the cap right now, so they have $7 million to spend. But as we know, most teams want to keep $5 to $10 million in the bank to roll over into the season in case injuries happens, to stay flexible, to make a trade, and then you roll that leftover cap into next season. So Timothy, no, I do not see the Giants trading for Baker Mayfield. Anthony, what's up, man? Who is the biggest sleeper to have a big year on the Giants roster this year? A sleeper. Whew, that's a good question. Let's start with on the defensive side of the ball. Maybe not a sleeper, but I feel like a guy that not a lot of people are talking about and should be talking more about. What about Azeez Ojulari, the second-year edge rusher out of Georgia, the second-round pick, but in 2021, he played like one of the best rookies in the NFL. 8 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, a forced fumble, almost 50 tackles. I'm expecting Ojulari to take another step and show that he could be a foundational piece that this Giants staff and front office can build around. Because look, right now, it might be crazy to say, but going into the offseason, one of the weaker spots on this Giants team was edge rusher. And right now, I don't think you can say that. I think it might be their most important and most skilled position when you think about Kayvon Thibodeaux, Azeez Ojulari, Leonard Williams, Quincy Roche looked good as a rookie. Ellerson Smith hopefully can take a step his second year in the NFL. So I'm expecting Ojulari to man up and get to the rate where he can be one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. Be a 1-2 tandem with Thibodeaux and Ojulari, 2 guys that can be your outside edge rushers for the next 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. I want Ojulari to compete as one of the best edge rushers and maybe be Defensive Player of the Year. I think he has that potential. 8 sacks as a rookie, build off of that. continue to build your name in the NFL, and cement yourself as a long-term piece for the Giants. But I'll ask you guys this question about Ojulari. 10 sacks this year in the 2022 NFL season. Over or under? I picked 10 because that's 2 more than he had his rookie season with 8. So sound off in the comments and let me know. If you think he's going to have more than 10 sacks, type O for over. Or if you think he's going to have less than 10 sacks this season, you could type U for under. Rosario, what up, man? Giants will Barkley and DJ ball out this year. If they want to be back with the New York Football Giants in the 2023 season, they're going to have to, because both of them are on the last years of their rookie deal. Saquon's playing on that 5th-year option, and Daniel Jones is playing on the 4th year of his rookie deal, and his 5th-year option was declined by Joe Schoen and the Giants. I'm expecting them to have both better years than they had last year, and that's not really going out on a limb and, predicting too much. Neither really had great years. But I'm not sure just having better years than what they did last year will cement themselves in the plans of the Giants for the next couple of years. I think Daniel Jones might have to lead the Giants to the playoffs for him to be re-signed and designated as the franchise quarterback going forward. Saquon Barkley is going to have to play all 17 games and be a top 10, top 12 running back in the NFL if the Giants are going to give him big-time money. I'd pay him about $12 million per year, similar to what Nick Chubb got from the Cleveland Browns. But to answer your question, Rosario, yes, I do think they ball out, but to what degree, I'm not sure. They're going to have to really make a strong impression if they want to be re-signed by the Giants. Mr. NY Stadium, what's up, Brody? If Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley have a good season, which one will you keep for next year? If Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley both have good seasons, I could see them both being back. But if they both have good seasons and I can only choose one of them, I'm going to roll with Daniel Jones because he's the quarterback. If you can get your hands on a young quarterback that just had a good season in the first year of a new system with Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka and a new offensive coordinator, a new O-line coach, a new quarterback coach in Shea Tierney, then I think you build around that guy. You build around Jones because, as we know, it is hard to find a franchise quarterback in the NFL. But that just one season doesn't make you a franchise QB. But he's got to give you the confidence that he can be the guy that you can move with going forward. That's a great question, Mr. NY Stadium. So I'm going to go back and ask you guys the same question. Which one of these guys is going to be back on the Giants in the 2023 season? Which one is going to re-sign or sign an extension to be back wearing the New York Giants blue? I challenge all Giants fans to get in the comments and let me know. Predict it. Go out on a limb. Be brave. Type 8 for Daniel Jones, or you can go down and type 26 for Saquon Barkley. If you haven't yet, make sure you show New York Giants Now by Chat Sports some love over on Rumble, because we are growing to platforms that you guys use. If you've never heard of Rumble, it's very similar to YouTube, except it's a little bit more uncensored and edgy, and we're posting Giants content over there for absolutely zero charge, for free. So give us a follow. Rumble.com/NYGiantsTV to stay up to date on another platform on daily Giants news and rumors. We'll get to another question here. My guy Twizzy coming in with the second one. All good. Kayvon and Azeez will be scary this season. No doubt about it. This will be one of the best duos the Giants have seen at the edge rusher spot in a very long time. And I think if these guys can live up to the hype that all Giants fans are putting on them about being the next great duo, could they, in the next 5 years, could we look back and say, this rivals the Justin Tuck and the Osi Umenyiora duo? That would be best case scenario. And I don't think it's a stretch to say that. Thibodeaux, top 5 pick, for sure. Has the talent to be one of the best Giants rushers ever. And so does Ojulari, someone that was projected to be a first-round pick. Had some injury red flags come up in the 2021 draft, but he showed everybody that he belongs in the NFL and should have been a first-round pick after having 8 sacks his rookie season. So I agree, Twizzy. I do think Ojulari and Thibodeaux, they're going to be scary not only this season, but hopefully for the near future for the New York Giants. Ryan Chinsky, what up, man? What do you think about trading for a cornerback? Maybe like Bradley Roby. Heard he has been on the trade block, and Saints are deep at cornerback. Yes. According to the latest Saints news and rumors, and trade rumors specifically, Bradley Roby has all of the smoke and all the trade rumors surrounding him. The Saints, they're deep at corner. They have a lot of good players there, which has the Bradley Roby looking on the outside in when it comes to the depth chart. He didn't play all that well in 2021, but he has played good in the past. This past year, in just 14 games played, gave up just 306 yards, which is not a lot. Had 5 pass breakups, had 1 interception, allowed 1 touchdown, but it's the completion percentage allowed, which is 70% for Bradley Roby. That somewhat scares me. Do I think the Giants will go out and trade for him? Probably not. It will only cost the Giants a little less than $2 million to take on Roby's salary in a trade, but I really do believe that Joe Schoen and Wink Martindale want to build this young Giants defensive backfield. When you have guys like Aaron Robinson, who you selected in the 3rd round of the 2021 draft, and Darnay Holmes, who was an early draft pick as well, you want to see what they can do. You just drafted Cordell Flott in round 3, so I believe they want to see him play. And it sounds like Rodarius Williams is looking good. Michael Jacquet has looked good, and so is Dorsey. So look, on paper, is it scary? Because we're not ready to see Robinson as cornerback 2 for sure. But I don't think it's all or nothing for the Giants this year, and that's how they're moving about it. They want to see what they can get from the young guys, and Robinson, and Holmes, and Flott. Going out and trading for a guy like Roby doesn't do anything except eliminate the reps from the young guys. So no, I don't think the Giants will go out and trade for Roby. Do I think they can go out and trade for another cornerback, a veteran? I think that still is on the table. So I'll ask you that question exactly. Do the Giants need to sign or trade for another cornerback this offseason before we get to week 1 of the 2022 NFL season? This is your chance to be a part of the show and school me up in the comments section. Type Y for yes, or if you think, we're good in the cornerback room, we don't need anyone else, you can go down and type N for no. Last question for my guy Timothy. If DJ and Taylor get hurt during practice or in the preseason, will Webb step up and take the reins as the starting quarterback? Well, I don't know if he'll step up and take the reins, but he's their quarterback 3 right now, Davis Webb. And what a funny career path Davis Webb has had. When the Giants drafted him, he was going to be the Eli Manning replacement. Then they cut him. Then he bounces all around, and he ends up with the Buffalo Bills last year, and he's with Brian Dable and Joe Schoen. And there was rumors that he was going to become their next QB coach. But he followed Dable and Shea Tierney to come and be the emergency 3rd-string quarterback for the New York Giants. I don't really know what to expect from Davis Webb if he gets out there. If Tyrod Taylor and Daniel Jones get hurt, that means we're sucking for C.J. Stroud and we're blowing for Bryce Young. Tank, and go get the next franchise quarterback for the Giants.